Yes, of course. I also feel like that should be on the poster, a rom-com fever dream set in Italy. Like, why didn't we think of this? It was one of those like funny, my agent called and he's like, I have a great opportunity for you with Hallmark. It also, it's a little bit, you're gonna have to figure out your life like pretty fast because in a week and a half they'd love for you to be in Bulgaria. And I have two kids, 5 and 2 at the time. So,
Oh
you
my
know, like
goodness.
that's not just, doesn't just come together.
Uh-huh.
Even though I have a husband who's amazing at like stepping in and doing all the things. But I was like, well, obviously, yes. He's like, do you want to read the script? I'm like, well, I guess so. I guess I should read the script before I say yes. But just the pitch of like, you're going to shoot in Bulgaria, Greece, and Italy was kind of a no-brainer. And then knowing it was going to be a Hallmark script, like, I was like, there's no way that I'm not going to want to do this. And
Mhm.
then I heard that Chris Polaha was doing it, which I'm like, we haven't worked together in 10 years. And so it just kind of all happened very fast and also very smoothly though. Like it just there was just no time to think other than just to say yes and then make everything happen. Not grounded, you know, desperate to get back to the boat. Like we get lost. Chris and I get lost and we're making our way through Italy to try to catch up with the boats in all these ports that it lands in and we keep just missing it, just missing it. So it's a lot of high energy stakes throughout the movie, which I think is what makes it so fun in that Lucille Ball, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, like all of those things kind of coming together to just make for a really fun, high stakes, almost capery film, you know? And my character, normally cool, calm, and collected, not so much throughout this. I would love to step into all romances built on chaos at all times because there's just so much more to chew on. Like the fact that you're up against time, the fact that you're up against your environment, the fact that you're up against, communication errors because you're in a place where you don't understand the language, maybe. And then you're also up against this other human who you've never met and have to make it through with and maybe also fall in love at the same time. You know, there's so many layers. I loved it. I'm so happy that Hallmark made this movie. I can't tell you, Juliet, like, I love this movie so much. It was such a blast to make. Italy aside, like that was a dream. But
Yeah.
the script, McLean Nelson wrote it. He also directed it. He's such an incredible comedic director and I just think Hallmark is the perfect place for these kinds of movies. I think this one is different. I'm not going to speak for it. There are other Hallmark movies that, you know, live in this vein too. But for
Yes.
me, it felt like this was the first time where it's just like a really broad comedy. You know, we were like, I read it and I called my agent and I was like, this feels like a Sandra Bullock movie or like 90s Meg Ryan. Like
Wow.
we're just out there having a lot of fun and being like bigger characters, bigger stakes. And so I'm hoping that for those exact reasons, the viewers will love it because it felt like a really nice throwback to like movies I grew up on. Yeah. Well, so Chris and we did my first Hallmark movie together back in 2016. Was it 2016? Yeah, 2016. Anyway, it was almost 10 years to the day. A Christmas movie called Hearts of Christmas. And back then we met and just like instantly liked each other and instantly had chemistry. And then basically didn't see each other for 10 years. I think we ran into each other once or twice, just like a quick hello. I was nervous. Like I was nervous finding out that it was him. I was excited, but I was also like 10 years. Who knows? You know, are we still going to be on the same page in life, in what we find funny and how we work and all of those things? And honestly, like within 2 seconds of seeing each other again, it was so easy. It was honestly, he feels like family in the best possible way, where also we still have chemistry. It's not like he's my brother, but you know, it feels that comfortable. We had, honestly, that film is just chock full of fun scenes.
Okay.
One of my favorite scenes, and it's actually two scenes, but it's when him and I are first, no, we've been on the donkey ride. So we're coming up and trying to find a rental car. And we meet this one Italian man who has a twin brother who he sends us to rent a car. But the Italian man is played by the same the two twins are played by the same guy. We are just up against time, and Chris's back is out because that's part of the plot, and he can barely walk. And we have this Italian man times two who are not helping us. and it all just kind of comes to a head. It's my favorite, and also because he was so great. The guy playing the twins. I mean, we every night we would almost go out for dinner. Whether it was, we also had two other co-stars, Amy Pemberton and Trey Warner, who are phenomenal human beings, and we all just hit it off. And so, and our producers and our director, like all of us were just like family in this movie. My parents came to visit and they're in the movie. So we would all go out for dinner every night and we'd just laugh. And one night when my parents were there, we all went out for dinner, and McLean had this game called Emperor, which I had never heard of. And we sat at a restaurant where were we then? We were still in Budapest, I think. No, not Budapest, Bulgaria. And played this game for hours and almost got kicked out of the restaurant because we were being so loud. The other people couldn't eat their dinner because we were all yelling. All very competitive spirits, I guess. But that was just kind of the vibe on set all the time. Yeah, both. We shot in Sicily, which, like, come on, right on the water. We walked through those little narrow streets, and it felt like I was walking with Chris, two Kristoffers. And we were walking through the streets at night, and he was like, this feels like a set. Like, none of this just feels real. And I was like, you're right. Also, none of this trip has felt real. Yeah. But that, and then we also shot in Greece, in a town called Thessaloniki. And I hadn't been there before. A big vacation town, and honestly, like, go. If you get a chance, go. It's so magical, and the food is so good. Oh, they should watch Missing the Boat, because first of all, you're gonna just, like, the scenery is like a meal in itself, the most delicious meal, and I think you're gonna laugh. I hope you're gonna laugh. Otherwise, we've done something really wrong, but it's a funny movie, and I think we all need to laugh more. It's the best. It's funny, you just never know what path you're going to go on when you're an actor, because so much of your career you have very little control of, because you don't get to choose, where you book parts. And not being from America, I also didn't grow up with the Hallmark Channel. I'm from Denmark, so I didn't know of this magical little corner of the world that's just full of good heart and good cheer and a wonderful community of people who are so loyal to the channel. So I just, like, I'm excited to get to continue. And I didn't know that was going to happen. I did Chesapeake Shores for 6 years, which is, who gets to do a TV show for 6 years? What a blessing. I had my kids while being on Hallmark shows, like, all of it. They're just milestones, and I will forever, hopefully, keep working for this network.